Alright, so hi everyone. We are right now on tutorial 3 of learning how to backtest using Python. In the previous two videos, we have discussed about the strategy that we are trying to backtest and learning how to backtest. And in the second video, we talked about how to resample our data frame where we changed 1 minute time frame to 15-minute time frame. And then we also applied indicator values. In this particular video, we'll be starting with the backtesting, and backtesting will be done again using Python obviously, and we'll be also calculating the metrics that we get from that particular trade log. So let's begin. So we'll check out our data frame, which is TF. So DF has been made. So our logic initial was whenever the 5 EMA crosses from below the 11 EMA we buy, and whenever the 5 EMA crosses from above the 11 EMA we sell. Also we take another condition: close must be greater than 5 EMA for buy conditions and close must be less than 5 EMA for sell condition. So the same thing we'll implement. Let's start. Status equal to 0 we define over here because let's suppose we are in the trade. I have bought a security, let's say Nifty futures. I have bought a Nifty futures and again a buying signal comes, but I am already in a trade, so I'll not buy. What I mean to say is, if I am already in a trade, I'll not again buy another security until I have squared off my position. So if I am already in a trade, I'll not start another trade. Once I square off, then only I'll start another trade. Now PNL, which is a data frame right now I am creating, this data frame will contain the trade logs. The trade logs that contains my entry price, exit time, exit price, points, PNL, everything. So this data frame will contain the PNL named data frame will contain my entire trade log. Alright, so now you can see I have created a data frame. I'll just run it and show you. Now I'll start iterating over a loop. So why I am iterating over a loop? I have a data frame which looks like this 15-minute time frame data frame. What I want is at every candle I want to check what is happening. Let's say this is a first candle. In this particular first candle I am checking is my condition valid or not. That is, the 5 EMA must be greater than 11 EMA. Let's take an example over here. This is 5 EMA. Is it greater than 11 EMA or not? If both conditions satisfies, I'll start the trade. Now for row comma value in df.iterRows, what does this do? I'll just show you. So row contains the timestamp value, the index value of a data frame, while the value contains its values. In other words, if you see df.head1, so row comma value in df.iterRows, this particular function helps us to iterate over the rows. So what happens is, while I am iterating, the row variable will contain the index of it, while the value variable contain the values of that particular index. If status equal to 0 means if I am not holding any position. If status is 1, that means I am in a buy trade. If status is -1, that means I am in a short trade. If status equal to 0, it means I am not in any kind of trade. My intersection is there, so my value of 5 EMA is greater than value of 11 EMA. It is cutting from downwards to upwards, and value of 5 EMA must be greater than, sorry. Now if this particular condition satisfies, this was the first condition, that the indicator should be greater, faster indicator should be greater than lower, and this was another condition. If this condition satisfies, I'll initiate a buy trade. This is a buy trade condition. So I'll convert status to 1. Now I have entered a buy trade. Entry price will be value of close. I am taking position at closing price of that candle. So whenever I initiate a trade, I am taking the position at closing price of that candle. Entry time shall be my this thing, row, as my row contains, as you know, row contains timestamp. And then continue. What does continue do? Continue basically skips the below code and it passes over to next row. Elif. I'll copy paste this entire condition. Now this thing I am writing for a short side. So now the code that is being written is short side of the trade. If this is true and if this goes less than, and this becomes less, that is if value of 5 EMA is less than value of 11 EMA, that is the 5 EMA is in the bottom side and the 11 EMA is on the greater side, and the close is less than value of 5 EMA. At that particular condition, I'll initiate short trade. I have converted status to -1. Entry price is again same, value of close, entry time is again same, row. So in this two particular condition, I have initiated my trade. This is my buy side of condition, buy trade condition. This is my short side of condition. Status equal to 0 means I am not in a trade and I am initiating a trade. I am not in a trade and my condition satisfied. So I entered a short trade, and this means I entered a long trade. Alright. So that was the entry part of it. So once we have completed the entry conditions, these two are the conditions that initiates a trade. Now we come to the exit of the trade. So when do our buy signal get buy trade gets exit? So buy trade gets exit when the EMA crossover is there from upside to downside. That is, the faster EMA cuts the slower EMA from upside. So status equal to 1 justifies that we are already in a buy trade. Now this particular condition, what does this condition justifies? It says when status equal to 1, or when we are already in a buy trade and the value of 5 EMA becomes less than the 11 EMA. That is, it goes below the 11 EMA. At that particular condition, we'll square off. So status again becomes 0. Now we don't hold anything. Exit price becomes the closing price. Again I take an exit at close and my exit time becomes row. Now this is not just it, because the exit price and exit time are variable. We need to put this variable into a data frame or a trade log so that we can later access it. So we'll append this to PNL. PNL was a data frame containing the trade logs. So PNL. Now this particular code appends your list into the last data frame. So let's say I have a PNL data frame and it contains 5 values. So whatever I'll append, it will append at the 6th index. So it will keep on increasing the index and it will keep on appending the value in the last index. Now what I am doing is I am appending the data into the trade log. And how am I appending? We initiated and created a PNL data frame. The very first column contains the type of the trade. So this was a long type of trade we bought. Then entry price, entry time, exit price, exit time. Now how do we calculate points? We calculate points for the buy side by subtracting exit minus entry. That is, exit price minus entry price will be a points. How so? Let's say we bought something at 100 and sold something at 110. So 110 minus 100, that is 10 points difference. So we get points by exit price minus entry price, and we get PNL. Let's say I bought 2 quantities, so 110 minus 100 is 10, but I bought 2 quantities, that is 10 into 2. So PNL is basically the lot size into the points. So for Nifty futures, the lot size is 50, so I'll multiply it by 50, and that's how I append it into a data. I'll copy paste it for the short side. If my status equal to. Now point to be noted that the points for the short side reverses. That is, exit price becomes entry and entry price becomes exit. So I'll just reverse it, or maybe I'll just put a minus over here and a minus over here. And thus it is completed. So now a backtesting code is completed. We'll just run it off and look what are the results. Okay, so backtest has been done. Now we'll check the PNL. Now if you can see, we got a PNL trade log. Now this trade log contains a long trade, short trade. Now it is a historically tested trade log of your strategy, what we defined, and it contains at what price we entered, what time we entered, what price we exited, what time we exited, how much points we got, lost, and how much PNL it made. If you want to have a cumulative graph over the time, we can have it PNL column dot Alright, so I have not installed matplotlib. It will require matplotlib, so we'll install it. Pip install. Alright, now it should run. Yeah, so this is a plot of our strategy, and it seems pretty much fascinating to me also. Alright, so now over to the metrics calculation. How do we calculate its metrics? So what we'll do, we'll export this particular file to a CSV file and then calculate the metrics over an Excel sheet. Now the metrics calculation can done in Python also, and we'll do that in the later upcoming videos where we provide you a separate function which automatically calculates all the metrics. But right now we'll do it manually. So I'll just, so once I have exported it, it will come to my space. So here I have my CSV file. Now what I need to do, I'll open this in Excel format, and that's it. I'll open this in Excel. So once you have opened this in Excel, we'll try to get the four things, that is the drawdown, the P&L, the cumulative graph, and average win, average loss. So let's get the cumulative sum. Cumulative sums tells us the overall trading portfolio horizon, that what happens to a strategy from beginning to end. Alright, I'll just select all over and insert a graph. Insert line. So this is my cumulative graph. Alright, so once you have opened your file in Excel, what we'll do, we'll find out the cumulative sum of it and try to plot a graph. And I'll just stretch it over. Now I'll try to plot a graph of cumulative sum. So this is my cumulative sum graph. Now what this graph does, this graph shows me how my strategy is performed over a period of time. So my strategy started from 2019, if we see the entry time 1/1/2019, and it ended up at 1/25/24 2024. So over 4 years, 5 years period of time, it made me a decent amount of profits, which is more than 8 lakh. The sum accounts for roughly 8,69,415. So over a 5-year period of time, and to buy a future of Nifty, I need approximately 1 lakh. So on an investment of, on a capital of 1 lakh, I made roughly around 850%, with an average profit of 434 rupees per trade. So that was it. We can have a automatic metric calculation in the upcoming videos, where you will get the metrics, that is P&L, drawdown, average win, average loss, win rate, Kalmar ratios, and everything in the upcoming videos. So that's it for tutorial 3. See you in the upcoming videos.